One of our, after we win a game, we pick MVPs, offense, defense, special teams, and we pick plays that turn the game, and we pick people in the fold. And for one of the defensive MVPs, it was anybody that was involved with rushing defense. And we've been good for 2 weeks, so we're happy with that. We need to get more takeaways, so we'll concentrate on that. And the penalties, the offsides and those decision-making penalties got to get cleaned up still. So that's a good stat, though. I didn't look that far back. Thanks for checking on that. But that was a big difference in the game. And I'm just still, just appreciative of the players and winning that game with the coaches. That was a team that smacked us last year. And I don't know what it looked like to you, but after I watched the film, just the hitting of the game, I felt like, we were pretty dominant in the hitting. They had a few pops on us, but I didn't think they had to shake them up and rattle your teeth loose as much as we had on them. So I always like to play physical like that. And whenever we can, I'm overjoyed when we can be that physical of a team. It's been a long time since we've been that way, so I feel good about that part. I want to see us get better along the way also. Yeah, I mean, you keep pounding it in their brain and say it's not acceptable, and we've already limited some playing time for people too, and so you just keep doing that. But I will say this, after watching the film, we were about halfway there. Okay, you know me, I tell the truth, and people don't like the truth, and people get all sensitive. Maybe it's because it's my truth, could be, but after you reviewing all the penalties, we're about halfway there of what we had. Okay, that's the truth after you look at it. And so we're not talking about numbers. We're not blaming people. We're just saying I'm going to defend my players when they're not wrong. That's just who I am. That's why they come here. They know I'm going to be like that for them. But when they're wrong, they got to pay the price too. And so we've been over that. We keep working on it. Just keep talking about it. It's not the first time I've ever been involved with penalties. So we got to keep moving forward. It did already cost us a game. It cost us the first game. Well, you got to call it maybe a little differently at times, just to put us in positions where we can't mess it up. But at the same time, people got to do what they're supposed to do. They got to do what they've been taught, and they got to keep their wits, and they have to have poise, and they have to do the right thing, and they can't make mistakes, and they can't make penalties, and that's the biggest thing. We line up and cover the tight end up. We get a big gain. It's all coming back because it's a legal formation. We get a nice play, move it down farther, and we got a penalty. And so at that point, for 2 games, that stuff's got to go away. And it generally does the more you play. And then you play different people. But you start getting a little jammed up when people are hurt and can't play. You only have so many people to play. They played very well against Truman. That was their first game and only game of the year. Completely a different team, a new offense coordinator. So nothing from last year as far as breaking them down for the defense is any good except for the one game. That's all we have. So I feel like I'm a little blind going into this one, and I don't like going into games blind. It's part of the first game of the season, a little bit the second game, but it shouldn't be the third game, and that's just the way it is. And for the offense, they were all 4 3/4 basically as a base package last year on defense. Now they're Bearcat, and so you got one game to create a game plan, and then you're going to have to adjust when you get to the game because there'll be something new. And they had a week off, so they've had 2 weeks to get ready for us, where we're going to have a couple days, and I'm fine with that. It's just the nature of the business right now when you're early in the season, and you've got buys that early. And Sparky didn't want that bye. He wanted to play somebody, but people don't want to play them, and so on and so forth. But he does have a whole new team, and he's got some nice play. I like the quarterbacks he's got. He's got 15 and 7. Johnny Saavedra and Jason Whitaker, and I remember Jason because he came out of Rockford, and I recruit the west side of the state. Went to Northwestern. They both played at Truman. Truman's a very well-coached football team, and for Davenport to go in there and beat them, that's size large. So we're going to have to be playing a lot better than we have been the last 2 weeks as far as the penalties and the beat-yourself program. We can't have that. No, it always is. That's par for course. That's nothing new than I've ever been involved with since I've been at Northern. And so we just keep playing. We just keep playing, you know. When I worked for Dan at Central, we had a rough first 2 years. You know, a lot of the marquee players had left, you know, and when Butch left Central, they were riding high. And then, you know, Zombo goes to the NFL, you know, Dan Lefevre graduates, Antonio Brown leaves early. We lost the tailback. He didn't want to stay at Central. He wanted to go back to Indiana. And so we struggled for 2 years. So you get into those jams, and even here, you just keep punching. Well, how do you get through tough times? You just keep punching, you keep fighting, and you endure toughness. Because a lot of people will quit. And so we won't. We won't. We'll come out the right way. That's how I feel about playing in this league. I love playing in this league. You know, people run away from it. We're never going to run away from anything. That's not who we are, what we do, or how we live here.